Good day, my name is Doug, and I am playing 7 Days to Die, Alpha 18.4, the stable branch, which is why we're starting over on day 1. For those of you who have been following my videos, I have been sick for the past couple of days, so... and I still have a cough, so... you may or may not want to listen. Make sure you have an antivirus in place. Also, for those of you who have followed my videos in the past, you may want to just skip this video because it is a day 1. It is mostly a primer for people who've never played this game before. And so it could be, well, quite boring for you. That's all there is to it. But if you are trying to learn this game, you may notice what I'm doing right now. I am actually left-clicking on the mouse. Okay, assuming you haven't changed your game controls. That is just a regular strike. Okay, a right-click on the mouse is either a power strike or a defense. Okay, in this case, it's a power strike. A power strike does more damage, but it takes more energy to do. What I'm doing by hitting the grass right now is collecting plant fiber. And if you'll notice in the upper right-hand corner, you'll see the quest that we're following right now, which is the beginner quest. I do highly recommend doing these because when you are done, you will have gotten 4 development points, which are actually very, very handy things to have indeed. I also mark my start point. I actually was watching another video and he used this symbol for the start point. You know, since I don't use that anywhere else, it kind of makes sense because otherwise it kind of rolls into everything else. Somehow I made 2 of them. I didn't intend to, but okay. Okay, so now if you right click, you see it's changing. It's what the hell? Oh, okay, somehow I made 3. It changes its attitude, the direction it's pointed at, the orientation there, that's the word I'm looking for. When you left click, it places it. I don't need those other 2, so I'm going to go ahead and scrap them. Okay, when you put down a bedroll, if you die and you have a bedroll down, you'll respawn where the last bedroll was placed. If you don't have a bedroll, you will spawn randomly on the map. And by randomly, I mean anywhere. So it is always a good idea to put a bedroll down. Now, why have I put or marked my start location? Part, it's just, so I have an idea of where I started. 100 days into the game, I'll know, hey, that's where I was originally. But for this first part of the game, for the first hour of the game, I believe it is, and for the first, I think it might be a ½ kilometer, but don't quote me on that. That's a pure guess. You're in a safe zone. No zombies will spawn in this zone. You have time to orient yourself. You have time to collect some supplies. That spiny little bush, unlike the grass, gives you wood, and you need 2 wood to start the game with, so it's always a good idea to search those out. So you basically have a little bit of time to pull things together and get yourself going. This game is what we call fully destructible, which means you can destroy anything on this game. Any piece of ground, any tree, any rock, anything you choose. Okay. I still need wood. Okay. Sorry, I'm having to get my thoughts together. My brain isn't quite clear yet. Oh, that is a snowberry plant. They have other uses. Okay, there we go. Now the stone axe, well, is a pitiful weapon to say the least, and not a great tool. Isn't a bad thing to have to start with. Okay, so for one thing, instead of having to collect 1 piece of wood at a time, I can actually go ahead and chop down a tree. Now, just to give you an idea what the difference is between the stone axe and hitting it with your fist. Okay, there you go. So, it is faster, it is easier, and it will collect you more of what you need. Now, obviously, it's telling me my quest is, to craft fiber plant, or fiber shirt, fiber pants. I have enough to do that, so we'll go ahead and do that too. Pants, shirt. I just happen to know I'm also going to need more wood later, so I'm just getting it while the getting's good. End up with a couple of seeds, which I go ahead and plant just because, yeah, I do that. And then I saw a boulder right over here. And the reason I'm coming over for the boulder is, yeah, this is how you get more rock in equal mass quantities. Okay. So that's really all I'm going to need for right now. Normally I would take care of the whole thing. Let's go ahead and put some clothes on. And now it wants me to make a club. As weapons go, the club really sucks. But it's better than nothing. At least until I can... Now the other thing that I'm going to be making here... Oh hey, it's a grocery. That's a good thing to know. Remember, try not to go very far from your starting point. Because once you trip the zombies, they're on. They're on everywhere. Your safe zone is gone. You have no place to run to. That, by the way, is nitrite. The surface emanation of it. You can dig down from there if you want to get into mining right away. I don't recommend it. That's iron. I have to find a bird's nest for feathers so I can make my bow and arrow. The better light you have, the easier it is to see. Gosh, that sounds stupid even as I said it. Okay. There we go. Bird's nest. And 6 feathers, which is more than what I need. Okay, primitive bow. And I'm going to go ahead and make all the arrows. This, by the way, is just a simple note explaining why the hell you were found, half dead. I'm sure that's going to come into the story at a later date, but right now it doesn't play much more of a role than that right there. Okay. So, I said we need more wood. We need to make frame block. Now, I think frame blocks are like the shit. You use them everywhere. But you have to have at least one to complete what they want you to do here. So, we complete one, place it, and then as I told you, this tool, while it doesn't do anything well, it does a whole lot of things half-assed. And that's an upgrade. That's using the right mouse button to upgrade. And then I said I collected rock for a reason. Yeah, that's for the campfire. You need 8 for that. Oh, you only need 5 now. Okay, well, anyway. You still need a couple. And that is the last part of this quest. Now, the last reason why I recommend staying close to your start point is at this point we're given directions to head towards the nearest trader, which is due east. Now, if I decided to head off west, it'd be twice as far away. As it is, it's 1.1 kilometer, which, while isn't terribly long, isn't terribly close either, so I'm going to go ahead and make that rock, that run. And rather than make you make that run with me, I'm going to go ahead and put this on pause until I get there. If you're truly interested in following every minute of my day, you'll want to follow me on Twitch, which is twitch.tv/DougLotz. I'll actually have that in my notes below. Okay, see you at the trader. Okay, we're not at the trader yet, but I thought I would show this to you because this is actually something you should know about. That is a bear. Bears are death on 4 paws. Okay. You can take them on later when you have a rifle and some place to shoot from. I've put as many as 30 arrows into one and still had it wanting to fight. So at this level, or at your level, you don't want to come near a bear. Trust me on that. Okay, see you at the trader. Okay, so I just happened to open up a trash, one of these trash things on the ground. Got myself a book. It's a Pistol Pete, which is always a nice thing to have. When you get... Sorry. Sorry about that. So books come in sets of 7 volumes to a set. Here we go. When you collect all 7, then you actually get a 8th bonus perk. That's always a good thing to have. Hello, where are you? Okay. We're just not going to mess with him. So, the books are distributed randomly. There is no one place to find any set of books. But it does behoove you to open every container you can. And again, we're not at the trader yet, but this is known as a gore block. Collect these as you can. They give you rotten flesh. They give you animal fat, which you need for just about every recipe you're going to cook. They give you bone, which you need for glue. And they can give you other things like nitrate, things like that. Not in any great quantities, but you find these things all over the place. The main thing you want these for, though, is the bone. Bone and animal fat are really hard to come by. Okay, we are coming up on the trading post. It is in a snow biome, which does not make me very happy. For the first couple of days, you're inured against temperature, but then after that, you will find that you will get cold, unless you dress appropriately. And if you get cold, then you use food a lot faster, which in the early part of the game can be, not good. But we come here for a lot of things. 1, there is a vending machine. 2, there's one of every workshop here, and this has a workbench, which, yay, that's great to know, because, yeah, workbench is one of the things that we have to find. Okay. Even though this is in the cold biome, this is one of my favorite traders because it has so many things that we need here.
You still hanging around?
So we'll see if he's got any jobs. Which way do I want to get out of? So to the south and the west. Oh, really? That's just ridiculous. Okay. So 300 meters to the southwest, 200 meters to the west. Buried supplies are the most boring of the jobs, and they pay the least, but they always come with food. So that's not a bad thing to have, and they're the closest. So
I've got a task for you.
we'll go ahead and take that one.
I think you're gonna
Okay.
need it.
One of the things that is nice about this is you see how that's reachable? Yeah, when you have lockpicks, you can pick those locks. And that's a gun safe. So, yeah, there's always good things in it. But once you've opened it, that's it. It never regenerates. But since I'm playing a solo game, that's not as big a deal. Okay. So we have a forge over here. It's destroyed. The interesting thing about destroyed forges or destroyed workbenches is sometimes they come with the books that make them, the schematics. And so having read that, you can then make it. Okay, let's see here. That's open there. You can't take the chairs from... Huh. Damn it. Okay. Okay. I'm getting actually some pretty good stuff here. Oh, wow, treasure map, cool. Treasure maps are just like the buried supply missions, except you don't generate defenses when you find the chest. And I'll explain that more when we get into the buried supply part of the mission. Okay. There we go. Here's the other reason why I like this the most. A munitions box. You're not going to just find this anywhere. Okay, I've got a gun and a lot of ammunition. Okay. And then finally, now it used to be you could find mushrooms down here. And, you know, the mushrooms are here, but you can't touch them. If you can't touch them, you can't take them. Some more ammunition, that's good. Because I gotta tell you, it's a crappy gun. And the chemistry set is destroyed with no book. Too bad. Okay, this ladder leads up to behind the trader. And that door is locked. You're not getting up there. Okay. Well, that pretty much ends the trip to the trader. My next part, or my next episode, will actually encompass getting out of the trader and going off and finding myself a place that I can stay. But I'm going to be working on keeping these videos really short because otherwise people don't watch them. So we'll see you next video.